Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me again on another presentation. Today we're focusing mainly on the harvest of sweet potatoes. Not my harvest, and allotment neighbours of mine, but that'll be explained later on. Very interesting to see because we're down in the UK southwest, so quite a mild area naturally, but we wouldn't normally expect to grow sweet potatoes. So let's see how that harvest is done and why I will be growing them next year myself because it looks good. The second part of the video is a couple of little bits on reusing wood chips, what I've done as a new development for this year or new trial, and it seems to be working so far, but we won't know until the springtime when we start sowing the seed, of course. I'm getting distracted because there's a Jasper in here. Just seeing what he's up to, just in case he decides he doesn't like the look of me. Anyway, so yeah, on with that video and let's see what happens. So today I am featuring a neighbour's plot. My good friend Tim, who's grown sweet potatoes for the first time, and I think it'll be very interesting to show what this plant is capable of producing. So Tim has grown directly into the soil through black plastic membrane and allowed the plant to scramble right across it, and all the material you can see there has been grown from 3 plants. That's probably 2 plants worth, as you can see there, and part of its extravagant growth has been the good weather we've had in May, June, and again in September. So Tim's pulled across the membrane, and there's the remnants of the plant there, and ready to be dug up and harvested. Quite shallow rooting. I was quite surprised at the depth it's actually grew in. The soil, I think, is fairly well manured. You can see remnants of that left, and the harvest is remarkable. I know because I've seen it already. But yeah, look at the size of that thing he's picked up there. That is a good sized sweet potato from a UK climate. Continuing on with the harvest, it's well, I would say that's a really worthwhile crop from one plant. Obviously down in the southwest we have the mild weather, not usually mild enough for sweet potatoes, I've got to admit, so this is a venture into the unknown for both of us, I think. Look at the size of that potato there, absolutely incredible. My wife particularly likes sweet potatoes, so this is something I'm definitely going to explore next year. There is a little bit of slug damage on there, so that's something to be mindful of. I think I remember correctly, it was only in one of the potatoes or tubers. Now then, this is Tim just showing how you would take off cuttings from the bits that are rooted and try and get them through winter. They have got roots on the stuff, so you just chop either side of a leaf and repot the leaves or the rooted section into soil and keep it frost free of winter. Very important, that part of it. Meanwhile, on my second plot, I decided that it is time to harvest the wood chips that are now 3 years old on this path that you see, and I've decided to solarize it during the summer. And all that means is that area of the path I have placed over glass panels at the top, place a thermometer inside, record the temperature, and during September it reached 55 degrees centigrade over a week-long period in the daytimes. I made an error, I didn't cover the ends up, so I could have made it a little bit hotter. That's basically what I did. Excuse the distraction, but I've just discovered that something has been eating digging up the beans, the field beans. Anyway, back to the wood chips. So what I've tried to do is solarise it to see if I can beat the weed seeds that are inherently within wood chip compost that's been down for 3 years. Windblown seed is bound to make a problem. Underneath the Bramley tree, where I've had an extreme amount of brown rot this year, the good side of leaving the apples on the ground was an abundance of red admiral butterflies. There was about 20 on here as I walked down, of which only a couple brave souls decided to stay around. And yeah, they're enjoying the juices, and one's even decided to sunbathe at a Bramley on the ground by my feet. Lovely. The harvesting of the cider apples is continuing. This is half the tree taken away, all cleaned, washed, and now being made into juice. 230 pounds of apples from the one tree. Marvellous harvest. So there you go, that's the end of another video for this week. Next week I've already recorded the video, so I know what's coming up, and that is one-turn compost. And it's I learned something new, because I've focused on two aspects of it. Does the one-turn side of it work? You have to wait and see the video to know that answer. And a second part of it, which was wooden sides with air gaps opposed to plastic lined. And I learned something, so hopefully you'll learn something along with me. And I found the results very interesting. Well, thank you very much for joining me again. I hope this video has been of interest to you. There will be a lessening of video outputs through November and December, because there's frankly not much to talk about, you know, and I have banged on before about I don't want to just produce videos just for the sake of it. Either I can discuss something new, learn something new, or teach you something new, then I'm happy to produce the videos. But just making them just to fulfill a weekly video, no, I mustn't do that. I've got what I want to do. One of them is seaweed compost. I've got some new aspects to that I want to produce, but that's entirely dependent on a storm arriving. We had Storm Babette, but it didn't really affect us down in the southwest. So we need a good old autumn storm to stir up the seabed, drive the seaweed ashore, and then we can harvest it and make the compost and go through that process with you. I've got a controversial video based on cardboard. I'm not going to say anything more, but that'll be for late November, December. It's a discussion topic rather than preaching at you, but hopefully that will be of interest as well. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you on the next one, which is next week, and then perhaps a week's break. Cheers, guys.